Well, hello everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I had to end the live earlier yesterday because a couple things just hit base too close to home, and pardon me for not finishing, but I am going to read a few parts that I deem worthwhile. The wind feels like pressure setting life's weight on my mere multi-frail existence. Starting anew is and will be rather difficult. Nothing has ever been easy for anyone. I used to fear being alone, but after all this time, being alone made me used to it. I see several possible futures, but it's up to me to decide which future that will be. I can plan now, or let things form in terms of what will be. Que sera, sera. I remember a time when things were in sight. I remember when I didn't have so much grief, pain, regret, and broken promises. I knew what has happened and what has occurred because it was bound to happen, because it's a life cycle of life. People die, and it's a bitter part of life we all must accept because it's going to happen whether we like it or not. Sometimes it feels like I'm not doing myself any good. Haven't been taking care of myself recently. I've been ignorant towards self-care. I've been absurd to health management. I've been distracted to the concept of hygiene. I need to take care of myself much more than I do at the moment. I'm wiltering away like a plant. Soon I'll be a veggie. I'm afraid I'm turning bitter and numb, to my heart, back to my mind and soul, on loop. I hope many people will read this book. If I die, I want to be buried in the same family Batagan gravesite, wherever that may be. I want what's best for everyone in my life. The light is green, yet I feel red. Do I even go though I can't stay, or do I stay even though I could go? To protect and serve would be ideal, if I could take all the blessings and make myself proud for my growing. Whoever is reading this, please try not to think fond of me. I don't want to be remembered. I've run out of meds. Will I go insane? I miss my dog. His name was Charlie. He was a good boy. He liked ice cubes, peanut butter, and he had a fear of black people. I didn't raise him like that though. She would chill with me every time I would sat together at the computer watching YouTube videos. I remember driving everywhere with you in the front seat with me. I also remember when he came off the leash outside the dog park. I had to chase him nearly half around the park. I remember taking him to the vet. He had a limp on his left paw. The fear in his brown eyes made me tear up as they walked him away. Thinking of that image now, I can only venture of what happened that day. It's not long ago, things were completely different. There were people that were here today that are no longer here. When I lost those people, I guess I kind of grew up. The grief and acceptance of someone's passing matures a person. Kind of feels like I'll be ready for the next body to drop, with all due respect. I was fine after all those years. Never would I ever would have thought I'll lose. Why does it seem like I can't move on? I find Alberta interesting. I also shouldn't limit myself to that region. My time is in limited supply. It's currently Sunday, July 9th, 10:40 a.m. Currently at Cindy's. Just took a shower and put on a little makeup to add a little bit of confidence. You know, some people say the eyes are the heart of the soul, or some form of heavenly entrance to the individualized, unique embodiment of a person. Each person is different and unique in their own way. I'm going to try my best to describe as much type of people I've come across, and I'm going to state why I remember them. To understand what makes a person have the ability to remember a person based off sight, place, thing, or anything that makes a person resemblable. Anything specific that sticks in their head as a memory. You remember the things you do because there's a significant thing about that memory that stands out. Thus, a memory. So, in Red Deer, I met a taxi driver. He picked me up at this pawn store. I've just finished buying a nice camera. He was nice, 37 years old. He came from Liberia. He told me him and his family fled. He mentioned fleeing with his family in hope of a better life in Canada. I'm glad people like him are able to come to our home and make it their home as well. Canada is a safe place. If people enter legally and come to Canada in hope of a better future, so be it, written in stone. His brave, genuine story touched my heart, thus making a memory slot for him in my memory bank. I'm going to ask Jojo for a quote. Jojo said, "Be yourself, fuck everyone else." I believe I act like myself, but I don't really think of the concept of fuck everybody else. That's such a hurtful phrase. I like to be considered a part of a team, that team being the United Society, a union of mindful group of people working hand in hand alongside each other in sync. Sometimes people get disconnected from the main server, and that server being in a mindful state with everyone, working without leaving a negative impact on a person's life because our actions matter through and through, to least to say the less. I'm constantly judging myself to improve because I know I could be better. I'm halfway to Edmonton, and this is my 4th time in Edmonton. Everywhere you go, you are viewed as you portray yourself. If someone presents themselves in a specific manner, in any form of an emotional state, labels people how they are forevermore viewed in the eyes of the people whom they are in sight of. Or I could say, first impressions are lasting impressions. This morning I got to see my mum before I left Saskatoon towards Edmonton. I was sitting near the back of the bus in a somewhat upset state because I didn't get to see my mum before I left. As I sat there in my post office jacket, I could hear a familiar voice shout out, "Where's my baby?" In an emotional tone, as if a World War II mother missed the train to wave off her son off to war, with the probability rate of never seeing him again. To think about it, during most wars, most mothers never got to see their sons again as they set off to fight and serve their country for whatever altercation that led that nation to have a declaration of war towards each other. I'd never been so happy to see my mum. She had cornrowed hair, She wore her common, memorable clothing style I've grown to know over the years. She was tearing up. She thought she missed her son as he set off into the certainly unknown. It was so good to see my mum. She said no matter where I am, she will always be here with me. That made me feel like I actually wasn't alone for once. I wish I heard, thought, felt that during those times when I never felt ever so more alone, such as when I lost Gary. I had no one, or when I was stranded and forgotten to roam alongside the highways of swift current, or when I was robbed in Edmonton. But all of that is in the past. Every experience could, will, and has been interpreted as something to be learned from past mistakes to better our judgment and future decision making skills. As of a month ago, me and my mum have reconnected again. I'm about to arrive into one of the economic powerhouse provinces of Canada, HQ, Alberta's capital city, Edmonton, a city where you win some and where you lose some. So much needs to be remembered before those memories are forgotten. A recap of everything would be a sight to delight, to see things not only from my point of view, but to see things such as seeing through the eyes of mine, but in a third person point of view. To take a step back and see the big picture, rather than only view the concept in one world view or unique aspect. I want to make my family proud. What type of pride do I want to cast into the universe? To respond to that, oneself needs to ask thyself, what fuels a person's ambition to thrive in a nature that urges the approval of others? It's as old as Father Time to want to be viewed in the ideal image of others. I really hope my siblings will read my work in case anything happens to me. I don't want them to grieve over me for too long. And don't be sad that I'm gone, but be happy I was here. Today is Tuesday, July 18th, 4:38. Today's my little brother's birthday. His name is Rhythm David Bear, the fifth child of Fern Tanya Bear. I remember not long ago, I sat in a gray hoodie right across from the vending machine in a small town called Meadow Lake. I was scared and highly anticipated to meet my new sibling. Was I going to be a big brother to a little brother or a little sister? I sat there and questioned the possibilities. I remember being summoned to see my little brother for the first time. Drayden Batagan, is now going to be the big brother to whoever my mom brought into this world. I remember looking into his brown baby eyes and I thought to myself, no doubt this was my mother's kid. The bare facial features really do carry itself. Do you ever get that feeling where it feels like you need to ask your memory bank for permission to remember? Or try grasp a memory that ceased to exist, regarding a sense of remembrance? Can I refrain myself from choosing to remember a certain memory by request or sense of will? If there is something significant, something that stands out, that anchors itself into your mind, these next few statements reflects an odd way to spend my 21st year of my life. I have no regrets, just bliss moments of uncertainty. A lot has been learned, yet there is still so much learning to be done. Tomorrow morning I'm going to Calgary, early morning, leaving at 7, arriving at the Southwest C train. I'll then travel to the public library. I was thinking of getting dropped off more north just so it'll be more convenient. And easy for Ken to pick me up This is Drayden Patagon, signing off. I'm sitting on the steps outside Calgary Library, looking across towards the Calgary Tower, the red-orange looking color. Whatever happens, I'm going to continue writing, to keep my journal and hardship on record. I'm so depressed right now. Well, at least Ken's on his way to pick me up. We're gonna go to Lacombe to spend some time together. I honestly don't know what the future holds. Well, look who the fuck came back to read some more. Let me just say, at first glance, the nature of your beauty is so profound. I must have been good to the universe to have been blessed of the opportunity and the chance to come forth of such encounters. Let me just say, you truly are a gem to the naked eye. Well, turn of events, I find myself east of Alex. Lacombe is so close, yet so far. I can remember every mission of this year's quarter, so time-consuming. I can only apologize, but I know that doesn't make things right. A formality adversary adrifts. Instead of paying off the mayor who fucked his wife. Calgary does not compare. 4:08 Saturday, August 15th. I left breadcrumbs everywhere, yet I'm on paid leave, metaphorically for security reasons. You are so full of shimmering light. The world will continue to turn once we are gone. We will be missed, and people will move on. Everything will be as is. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. I'm in Pinoca because I've gone mental. I shouldn't have risked the chances in Edmonton and Chilliwack, playing the pay day by day. It's been nearly a week since I have arrived in Pinoca. I miss my family, and most importantly, my 3 younger siblings the most. I kinda miss Gimmis. I'm afraid she's growing up too fast. Harmony is also growing out of control as well. I remember when she first came home to Avenue I from St. Paul's Hospital. I was hoping for a boy, but I'm glad we all got the harmony the universe deserved. The date is currently Saturday, August 12th. I noticed I no longer cry or mourn over the Patagon family anymore. When my mum Fern took me, I believed the time it was the end of the world. Never would I ever would have thought it was the dawn of a new era. Choices, decisions, and alternative notions. Oh boy, do I miss my brothers. I have big plans for those 2. The future is bright for most of my siblings. I had a little sister that was the twin of Gimmis, but she's no longer with us in my point of view or worldview aspect of a sense. I feel so much sorrow for my little brother Howie. He lost someone as close as a mother. Shannon was a mum to my little brother. I almost wrote Shannon is as if she were still here. May she rest in peace. She's not here, but she will always be here, forever roaming in our everlasting memories forevermore. And I wrote this to my mom. This was Friday, August 18th, 11:30. Dear Mummy, I'm sorry for being so hard on you. You deserve a better son. Howie and Rhythm will bring in so much son-like support. I will never be enough in my eyes. You are the best mother a son could ask for. Due to my ignorance, well, let me rephrase, I lost years we could have spent in each other's lives. But it's a new era. I hope you can forgive me. I fear I'm losing myself just before you could even find me. If you're reading this, Mom, I love you so much. I don't tell you often. I shouldn't have to tell you, for you should always know by default. I love you, Mummy. Sincerely, Drayden Bear. Everywhere, every second, at this exact moment in time, is the start and the end of a life. Roughly 150 1,000 people are born each day. Each person made an impact and a difference on this little rock in space. Some may question and regret time wasted rather than time well spent. I wouldn't go back in time even if I had a time machine. Some may say God is cruel and unjust. That is never the case sometimes. We lose people when we least expect it. I'm about to describe a memory that means so much to me. It hurts, but it reminds me of a kinder past. And I didn't even write it. The song Deathbed for Your Coffee. No, by Deathbed, Coffee for Your Head. That song takes me back to when Andrew was alive. My auntie was also alive as well. Andrew and I lived in Borden, Saskatchewan. We had a furball pup named Charlie. I reminisce. I could recall to remember every detail as precise, specifically in its genuine state, like a ship anchoring its anchor into my memory bank. I wish I were certain, but I believe I'm losing myself, and that's why I've been writing. If you're reading this, I'm sorry for my incompetence. Mary Bear and Dawn and Andrew and Shannon, they'll be forevermore left in the years that aren't now in this present moment. Oh, and here's a letter to my sister. I'm not gonna read that, but I will read the one I wrote to Guinness. Hey, my girl, my beloved sister, my prodigy, my shivering light of motivation, of motions, of notions. You were always considered my friend growing up. It's okay to pick favorites. Watching you become the fierce queen in my very eyes is like watching you walk the runway. You carry your head high, for you know your importance in this society, and your importance in this family, and your importance in my life. I say that sincerely, with clarity, ever so dearly. It's a privilege. I don't know how to grammar at the moment. My mind is foggy after my trip to Banff, Alberta. You and I are key family members, and we will be needed in the future. Harmony, Howie, and Rhythm will face the same issues we went through, and we will bring support and aid to assist. Our biological responsibility is to complete the task of required assistance towards fellow offsprings. I'm aware I'm not around as much as I'm aware I'm not around as much as I'm supposed to be. It would be nice to see you daily and catch up and exchange feelings and perspectives to improve and support each other. And here's some quotes I wrote. If you are thinking about them, there's 100% chance they're thinking about you. It's okay to cry. It shows your humanity. Be yourself. Otherwise, you'll be hiding the personality the world deserves. Don't bother trying to change for the people who don't respect you. Go where you'll be respected. Take the low road rather than being a Katie Roy. I never. I'm writing like someone is actually going to read this. I'll find myself when I'm ready. Flex your beauty. It's what your mama gave you. Protect your family. Live your life to the fullest. Don't let anyone hold you back, not even family. It's okay no one understands. All that matters is that you know what's true in your heart. Your opinion is just as good. What will become of me if I stop caring about what they think? Don't overthink things. Enjoy time with your mother. She won't be around forever. Enjoy your life. You won't be around forever either. If you love someone, let them know. Celebrate how far you have come. Breathe and compose. Dads care just as much as mothers. They just don't show it. I would like to travel Canada and listen to the stories of our elders and teachings before they pass on, and go to as many old folks' home. Listening to the elderly is a task that needs to be done before their stories are forgotten. The time is death is uncertain, but death is certain. Well, it's my last day in the Centennial Center. I'm being released tomorrow. There's one thing I learned, it's the fact that I need to stay on my meds. God, what a mess I am. Do people get hurt mentally and emotionally as much as I do? When a person thinks of one of the fallen, we will all lose someone we cherish and admire because it's a part of life. People die, and we have to accept that. Otherwise, a person would live in denial rather than grow with acknowledgementful and striving with learning how to grieve and learn with a positive perspective on the new days to come. Look at challenges more than difficulties. Numbing the pain doesn't get through it, because numbing it will bring it back to the first place. That was a quote by Ken. Monday, August 28th. I may have been born at night, but I wasn't born last night. Tensions in the South China Sea are escalating as China slowly claims its former Silk Road territory from its previous glory days. The more NATO will add pressure and sanctions towards the nation. My uneducated peers seem not to care. Nothing I can do but sit by and witness our downfall. I am not alone, but it surely feels that way. Andrew was good to me. We met at a gas station, out of all places. That's a lie. We met on Grindr. We started off as slight hookups that led to common civil notions of motions. I believe I shared enough, but that very sentence doesn't make things just or civil or in any manner. It's hard to recollect myself. I move too fast and begin to lose sight of the bigger picture. I had a nice run. It was fun. I'm not saying I'm giving up or anything. I'm aware that I'm dying, or anything, but it sure feels that way. I used to be afraid of death, but after losing Don, Shannon, Gary, Mary Bear, Kent, I've come to terms that we all don't have a say in what naturally forces would and will occur, whether we are in favor of the concept of death or not. I wish there were God would bring me peace, knowing the fallen aren't trailing that far behind, forevermore lost and trapped in 2022. I could die tomorrow, and the world will keep turning as if I weren't here. To begin with, to begin within such a cruel world, we may stop caring because all may seem pointless and meaningless. All subtle and patient. Be subtle and patient with yourself, for you are adapting and coming to realize life's challenges and tasks that are thrown at us. I could be saving a lot more by writing down documents and some time. I think to myself, I'll do it later. I just end up losing opportunities to share and cite my life. I've wasted a year of my life. I spent my 21st year of my life being used and taken for granted. As of December 2022, I've changed my life for the better. I've started traveling within the provinces of British Columbia, Alberta, and Saskatchewan, but I would never go past Manitoba for security reasons. Hashtag fuck the French. I would play dumb, never let someone know how smart I am. I might get sent to a black site for sharing classified information. I'll get along without you fairly well. Of course I'll do. I'll never forget you just as I should. I would hear your laughter of someone that looks the same. It's best to stick to my types. I should never think of spring, for that will always break my heart. There was a time where everything felt as if they were perfect. Things weren't clashing as tides or tidal waves against the shore. The mountains weren't causing your average expected rushing wave of snowfall. One sudden noise would bring everything rushing down. So much needs to be written, otherwise such thoughts will never be known to man, which is a loss on the behalf of society. Shy little frog singing alone in this room. When I treat someone kind, they always die. I've gotten away with a crime I didn't commit. I'm aware of my sad life, and I'm at peace with what has happened in the past. After realizing that, I realized I'm not okay. How things turned out to be, que sera, sera. There's nothing I can do about the past, for everything we ever said or did in the past led to this exact moment in time. A lot of things has changed from way back then. It's time for us to make a change. It has come to my attention that I've been spending far too much time in Lacombe. I don't want to linger somewhere where you're not wanted. It's shameful, and it's not normally ideal, anticipated than what could have been desired. When I'm away from you, I feel like we are learning a new form of what could be the new. I'm away from you, and I'm happier. I have been here many times before, my friend. I feel safe. Be my friend. I'm sorry if you're reading this and thinking, what the fuck? I can wait for you to come my way. I'm stuck trying to get out of this mental state. I've been far away. I can wait if you want. Am I enough for people? That I will find out. It's a logical response to be in such situations. I don't want to talk about things that we've gone through. I figured it made some sense. When she calls your name, do you get that memory? I don't want to talk. If Gary were here, he would have quote Oasis, "Don't look back in anger." I'm gonna start taking down the patriarchy. You know, it's too late as I walk by. I'm gonna change the worldviews of those around me with my persistent perspectives and point of views when knowing something that cannot change with whatever altercation of notion which has given us a formative format that will change forever. Maybe going on as we grow, we will grow and adapt towards natural events that are naturally bound to happen. Its own historical nature. Finally, something. He doesn't exist. Yet I survive by all her friends, drifting away. Imagine all the people we lost over the years. Now, imagine all the people that person might have known. Everyone makes a difference in everyone's life, for better or worse. Words, for most, are never easy. You're all I hope to find. Nothing feels like home knowing you're gone. Here comes a thought. You're losing your sight, and I fear I may lose you. We will fall apart, and I'm here. Fuck, I'm doing it again. We will all fall for someone whom we will never be able to be with. The feeling may not be mutual, or things are unjust as can be. Whatever happens, don't degrade yourself and make a fool of yourself either. It's quite shameful. Dear God, if you're really real, I hadn't had the time to seek your company. I was under the impression that you left, and for that I have grieved. I was expecting to be 6 feet under the ground before considering coming around. Could you please cut me some slack? I'm asking for just one good thing. All I want to do is to help all the people you knew. It's gonna pay off if I ask. I swear I tried everything. Why does it have to be this hard? I haven't seen the results. The second I get them, I'm out of bed. I'm convinced I don't recall feeling like myself. Somewhere beyond the moon, there's a planet for me. All my troubles will drift away. I don't know. He couldn't let me know. I'm pretty sure I'm worthless. But we will find out. Must wait if we can change expectations. Sometimes I feel like I lost the meaning of family. But truly, oneself would feel youthful no matter the age. Sooner or later, we will all be gone. I do not want any of you to perish. I'll call you to see you again. This bitter relation will finally end. I'll say hello and finally lose. No one fucks me like me. I'll pay in full. Why am I so lonely? For some love? I can't hear anything. I'm kinda busy. I can't text you. Staying in my play pretend. I used to hear sounds of laughter amongst the crowds. Now I only hear sorrow. I look at you and I see a beautiful person. You look so tired, but they don't speak for us. I'll say you're quiet, but there's no surprises. Your gentle, silent smile listens and tells a beautiful speech. Favorite thoughts have no surprises. Sometimes I wish I could go to a new country and start fresh. I need you, but I don't want to see you. Maybe she's right to keep that on my mind, to get down with the trend, or to get yourself to sleep. I'm lucky to be me. Sometimes we would talk all night about where we would be in the future. I don't know much about love, but sometimes it comes too soon. We will always be friends forever. Sometimes we try to break the rules, and as our lives change from whatever that was, I'll keep myself together. Just one or two, we're gonna stay like this forever. Don't allow challenges to determine yourself, and I won't let anyone hurt you or my family. Remember all the things we wanted. Now all the memories are haunted. I didn't come here to hurt you. I want you to know it doesn't matter. Someone's gotta go. It starts, that I love you. You're enough to let go. It doesn't matter. Someone has to go. I want you to move because I'm already gone. We were always meant to say goodbye. Every answer was always yes. I probably should have known better. I wish you would have treated me badly. I wasn't catching on to you. I fall in love too easily. I've been fooled in the past. I forgot how to turn it up. Now I don't got pins and needles on my tongue. Don't cry in front of me. Death will be refreshing. Let's head north. Remember the times we were together? When I first saw you, I did question a lot. I'm about to say something questionable. Having my memories all gathered around him takes me to where I used to be. I hear his voice in the morning. We had so much in common. We had all of our life to live. But we made a wrong turn at not paying attention to your health. We will get to see forever. It's hard to say goodbye. What we've been through, it's hard to say that that's normal. The memories will be my sunshine after the rain. Not really sure how I feel about it. It's been a long time. You have been acting tough. The sun will rise. I hope I'm not alone. Shit, where did you all go? I thought I was someone else for a second. I'm so sorry. Don't think I'm too sudden to question this. I'm a walking contradiction. Why don't we talk to each other? You might not believe in it. It's just the world's renewal. I remember all the things you used to do. We are different. I can't leave now. You will find a sign. It would break my legs that we were different. You're millions of miles away, as above or below, and I know you're happy at last. I care for you in my mind and soul. My mind still has redundant things like none other. No one can push you around. An endless sea. No one brought us here but you and me. I felt pain when you came. I said what I said. My morals and dignities come before all other formats. Am I going to continue to give up? We don't talk about certain people anymore. Things like that carries negative hindsight due to specific upbringings. Could you understand the history that it shares? Heartfelt moments of clarity and predictions are out of reach. Give me the truth, whether like emotions forces a strong meaning of feeling. There will be a time where we all will come together and have a drink and share and reflect and cherish the moment together and how far we all have come. Only you can make the world seem right. Only you can make the change in me and in us as a whole. I'm after happily waiting. She is drifting away. No one's there. I miss my mother, darling. I were not complete. I want to get away. I didn't mean for you to get hurt. I've been acting like someone will come and save me, but I need to save myself. I should have known how shy this world was. I'm seeing potential sparks fly all over the room. I want you out of my head. I'm not good at goodbyes. There's no way I can save you. You need to be saved too. We need to talk. Try slip through the fence. I was wrong. I lost a friend. It's time to let time pass through. The past is the past. Why do we try to divert the river? It's the wrong time. You didn't shoot me. I should have stayed home. I need to be myself. I'm wrong. The dream keeps me alive. I can't be right by me. I woke up in the middle of the night. I've been so lonely after everything. I've never met a basic bitch like you, and I love it. I'm so happy now. I would have thought I'll be alone. However, looking around the room, I didn't know that this was part of God's plan. Who is he? He doesn't see me. I was raised in Frog Lake. I wish I would have found myself when I was younger and learned the path to a righteous future. I remember that dirt road. I didn't like it much. I would throw rocks into the field. Life is full of sinners. I went out into the world, felt like I found a long lost friend. It's the end of the world. It's ended. I can't understand why life is the way it is. When every hour spent together is forever in my heart. So the years went by. She began to forget herself. I was left alone, lonely and forgotten. I'll get inclined. Let's get back to the start. I was just guessing numbers. I want to rush back to the start. It's a shame that we don't get to do that. I don't know what to do because I know I'll never pick the right thing, but nonetheless, everything will always work out for everyone. There's some people you could never be with. We all need some sleep. I just gotta let go. I longed for, wished for the endurance. I fucked up. I'm nothing but a loser. I'm a sad boy in a mad world. I'm just here thinking and dreaming about possibilities. I don't stress over things enough. Can the deadlines get posted to us? The past is clear. Why are we spending so much time? You are a part of my life. When nobody wants you around, that's when you are wrong. Oh, how much I miss you. I still couldn't hide how much I loved you. You ought to know you went away, and that wasn't okay. I knew the pathway. I've been dreaming of this place. I should have picked up my phone every time you tried to call. I should have took more photographs and asked you all my questions. It's broken me to watch you leave. I should have let you know how much I loved you. I was fine, but then you left. Does it matter? Well, I hope so. Thank you for being the sunshine I needed. Tomorrow is a beautiful day. It's unfortunate you won't get to see it. If you ever would return, I want you to burn me at the stake. It's all kind of shallow, but shallow cuts still stings. I swear I tried everything that's supposed to work. No matter where I am, you always... Oh, this next part is a letter I written to my sister Harmony. No matter where I am, you will always be my little starfire. Now all the stories have been told except for one. Everything will be okay. If the seven hells collapse, the day you arrived, the sun went black. An artificial night, you came and stole away the light and put it in your eyes. I thought I knew all the moons until the day could be my last. When I'm gone, you'll be okay. You remind me of childhood memories. It takes me to that special place. You're my precious beloved little sister. I would die for you, to save your life if anything were to happen. Yesterday, all my troubles seemed so far away. Suddenly, I'm half the man I used to be. I feel like my time is coming, for I sense the final act, my dear. Please know that I love you ever so dearly. Don't tell me you're sorry. I think that other person got the award. I'll cry, but not now. I'm having to think about that other time. I love my spirit when it ends. I'm an ugly crier. We need to put a bag on this when I cry. You want me to be yours? Well, you have to earn it. Whenever I'm with you, I got a smile on my face. I would like to call you darling. Too many things we didn't do together. You promised to show me the world. I'm taking you to Camrose. Times changes. It's a new time period, and things are a lot more different than you would have presumed. How I feel about you, I haven't felt anyone yet. I can't leave now. I'll never let you go in my heart. I think I'm lost. The love is right there. Take a seat. You'll get it at nightfall. A broken heart will ease your pain. When you fall apart, I will try to put you back together. Don't play with my heart if it's broken. It's fair to say I've gone insane. Stupid bitch, what did I do to deserve this? I don't know if I love you. I don't know if I hate you. You put this bullshit to the side. Code blue. All old shit is new. It's time to get in my line or out of my life. There is no religion that could save me. There will be no sight of delight on my 21st birthday. I got my zodiac in another life. We will probably recognize each other. When the music fades, there's no amount of money that could buy time. You were the one that got away. I have to go back to Saskatchewan. There's been an emergency. My Auntie Aubrey can't take care of my siblings anymore. This is gonna be a Darman studio video for a second. So you see, when my Auntie Shannon Martel passed away, one key family member of the family that was there to pick up the pieces after the family had shattered and managed to get a hold custody of my three younger siblings, Harmony, Terrence, Jazzy, Chikosis, Rhythm, Lathan, David, Bear, and Howie, Wheaton, Martell, Bear. Harmony was born at St. Paul's Hospital, 20th Street, Avenue Q South. Rhythm was born at the Meadow Lake Hospital. I remember Mum trying so hard. Breaks my heart to think of everything. I wish my siblings got the chance to see my mum in her younger days. She was so connected and dedicated to getting me to my baseball games. Josh always made sure I brought the right shoes. I remember when my mother first brought me toys when I was younger. At the time, my brothers used to tell me Fern's coming. I remember crying, scared to be taken away at a younger age. I wanted to stay close to my mummy, who was my mum, Miranda Stanley, and my father, Alex Patagan. Mum couldn't or wasn't considered being able to take care of me at the time at such a young age. Mum often tried to be a part of my life growing up, always showing up with gifts. I remember when I was 3, she brought me blocks. I think it was January 30th, 2004. I have very little but clear memories of childhood. Mum arrived in a truck. I brought myself something she didn't seem right, and she walked out of her black GMC and pranced towards me in Frog Lake First Nations. My mum what does that say? My mum got loser towards the deer. Oh, my mum got closer towards the door. I stepped back and panicked. I hid in the covers of my blanket. My grandma Rose gave me a piece of candy, and what? We could have been better. When my mom first picked me up for the first time, she said, "We're going for a ride to the store." I eagerly jumped into the vehicle, and we headed east. I looked back and seeing my brothers, Coleman, Colton, and Kobe, and my bitchy sister Tasha. I seen my brother from the window as I drove away, and as I drove away, the house would get smaller and smaller. I would have thought that would be the last time I got to see my family again, and this was in 2009. I left leading towards a new life, headed in the direction of Loon Lake. I remember meeting my twin sisters for the first time. They looked so cute. For some reason, I was jealous they had a closer connection to my mother, whom I didn't really like at the time, so that was confusing. My mum seen me frustrated and took me back home, for she didn't know how... What? I don't know about that part. When Fern Tanya Bear took me to Loon Lake for the first time, that's when I met Luffy. I felt like I was meeting a long-lost friend for the first time. We drove to Jumbo Beach. It was about 2.5 clicks southwest of Townside. I found you, you fucking loser. Look at me getting distracted again. I'm having a splendid time with you, Ken. We're currently heading to Crazy Bins to look at some items. Ken's going to drive me while he's out getting some blood work done. Why do memories gotta hurt? It's been one heck of a year. From British Columbia to Alberta to the Maine motherland of Saskatchewan. I haven't been feeling well. This morning I felt like I was dying. Maybe I'm just growing up. Such feelings are average adaptations towards growing up. As we come of age, such feelings will occur. Just look in the mirror. I'm looking like a slut. It's currently Friday. Pardon my previous language. Belonging to a higher power. Geez. As far back as the 13th century, the secret society of the Freemason Constitution of the Freemasons history charges, regulations, NCs, and most ancient and right of worship for the use of the lodge. It says hundreds of codes of conducts ties bench to the Catholic Church. Former sits separated politics from non-politics or organizations. Most ceremonies can't and shouldn't be talked about. The teachings and practices, the secret fraternal order, SP, free and accepted. The world's largest worldwide secret society will no longer be talked about or spoken about in this book. Nonetheless, I'm far too much. Can't control or turn back. Oneself would have thought, might as let everything out and spill the beans and expose oneself. We've gone this far enough already. Almost felt like we were racing the Lacombe train heading southeast Monday, September 11th. Once again, please pardon my previous pages out of outbursts like writing. Whoever is reading this, please know I would fight and die for our great mother Canada, a nation reborn as of 1951. Over the past 150 years, we strided towards peacekeepers because that's our place in the world. If I were to die right now, I'll be okay with that. If needed, I would fight for it forever. Reminds me of that sleeping driver I had in Hinton, Alberta. My life flashed before my eyes. You fell asleep. I hooked onto the steering wheel. He panicked and screamed, asking where we were as we continued to drive. He remembered where we were and what we were doing. He fell asleep again. I panicked. I took a hold of the wheel again. And what the hell? I'm about the expressionisms in the free world order, but I'm about to share something I really shouldn't be writing. Right. As I said, I can't, and we nearly crashed. Ken's quote of the day. Oh my god, can't believe I'm writing this. If you can't handle this... Oh, if you can't handle the cock, get out of my bedroom. That was the quote. I'm so sorry about that. I asked Ken for a quote, and that's what he said. And what the hell is wrong with me? I told my sister I'd never throw the first... Oh God. I'm not reading that. I have sorrow because I mourn. I have regret because I feel like things would have been different if my actions of the past had alternative pathways of courses. All my memories are haunted. I'm gonna leave off on a positive message. Everything is never truly gone, for they live on throughout us in our memories and stories and teachings. Well, dear family, I'm currently in Edmonton, a civil common law. I find myself in a train heading southwest, but I must get home. I hope Ken knows I'm coming. I left my phone in this guy's car. I roamed downtown out of desperate tease. I asked my cousin Vanity for help. Shake my head, she turned me down away. I have a permanent mental note to never help Vanity. I lost complete sense of family relation with her. But that was yesterday. I'm currently downtown Edmonton, trying to make a living so I can get to the phone. I never knew how much a person could rely on technology, so much on a device in order to thrive and coexist with society. I'm on my way to Stoon to get an apartment. No one would get to come see me because I'll have my home a little secret. But it's time to go home. But first, I have to get back to Ken's in Lacombe to his aid and find my phone, and I will depart. I'm sorry for being a failure without making a disappointment of myself. This is Drayden Patagon signing off. And here's a little letter I wrote to Ken. Dear Ken, we had so much memories together. Oh no, I wrote this if he wasn't gonna come. Dear Ken, we had so much memories together. If you don't come, I will be okay in Edmonton. No one needs me, that's why I'll be okay in Edmonton. I have an emergency plan B. I will wait here for hours for you. I love you, Ken. I remember your warm, gentle smile when you approached me in Calgary. This time it's Edmonton. You'll be picking me up at. I wonder if anyone is thinking of me right now. As time goes by ever so slowly, I wait for your arrival. But why do I feel skeptical about your arrival to begin with? You have never let me down before. I would have been disappointed, but I will forgive you and move on. And I know you would hang on to my things. And if not, it's not the end of the world. In times of uncertainty, I pray, yet I know we have a cruel, unkind God who knows no limits of cruelty, for he knows no boundaries. I was going to give this book to Guinness, but I believe I had a change of heart. I believe my little sister Harmony needs this more than ever. The first sibling I've got to raise. She's one of the sweetest little girls you'll ever know or come across. At the moment, she needs me more than ever before, but I'm currently afar in Lacombe, Alberta. If you're reading this, Harmony, I obviously made it home. I love you, my girl. Just thinking about you and Andrew right now. I remember him asking me to change it when the last goodbye song was playing. I sat at our white computer in a robe, and her beautiful pair of brown eyes were staring at me, at my gaze, in a visual direct, as focusing on me as they were, to be the last and only time that sight momentarily the brink of an occurrence would ever occur. Like how hard it is eating knowing that if I look eyes at him, I'm gonna have to give him a bite. I stopped giving bites to him when he started to grow out of being a gentle, subtle, innocent, childlike creature. His bark would often display over food is required or alert us of danger because Charlie, the cat-sized puppy, was capable of letting us know of all types of dangers, even if the world-ending meteor, Charlie would theoretically use his sonic power bark that is capable of stopping a 300-foot tall tidal wave as if he was Moses, stretching his hands over the Red Sea, allowing his paws to cross safety to our case. Charlie took a big inhale and was ready to huff and puff. A supersonic bark that saved his humans, Andrew and Drayden, from the 600-foot wave. Charlie and his humans survived to live to see another day. Charlie knew he was certain, surely, truly, going to get extra hamburger helper and spam scraps tonight. Charlie always sat by the foot of our bed in case enemies were lurking in the shadows to hunt us and, by God, possibly steal his treats from the humans that they held ever so dearly. Charlie looked at us in a godly proper magical gaze of a natural nature, like his visual hazed by God, locking his state that set us in a trance. Charlie never dared to jump on towards us due to the softest and delicatest known creature known to exist within our household, which is located and historically reflected at 109 Baltimore Street, which was across from the elementary school, which stood in the quiet, respectful, modern, sensible little town that was the heart and soul of self-reflective community. It was made out of the neutrality and was made by the settlers of our great Saskatchewan, which is the biggest escort of potash that exists within our glorious nation of Canada. Canada was established as a Commonwealth colony which was governed and ruled by the Crown and our grand, prosperous head of state. The longest reigning monarch was Queen Elizabeth II, reigning from February 1956 to September 18th, 2022. The Queen's father was King Louis VI. He was the second son of King George and Queen Mary. Queen Elizabeth II was born April 21st, 1926. The Queen's uncle, Edward the Fourth, abdicated the throne after 10 months to propose to Mary Wallace. Mary Wallace was an American who divorced twice, which was highly frowned upon by the current English government and a vast portion of the people. When it had become apparent that he could not marry and remain on the throne, he did what his heart felt was right towards the sake of his possible future with a wife he loved. He abdicated and he was succeeded by his little brother, Elizabeth's father, King George. He was one of the King George the Sixth. was one of the shortest reigning British monarchs to date, only lasting 326 days. Edward spent the rest of his days in France. He died in 1972. He had no children. He was known to his family and close friends as one of his 4 last names, David. The Queen's coronation was June 2nd, 1953, in Westminster Abbey. At the time, the Queen's coronation, the monarch ruled over no less than 43 territories, 7 autonomies, and several dominions, and 39 colonies. As of Saturday, October 7th, 2023, most colonies and former dominions and territories have joined together in a solid united force, which is today presently formed in a state of a British Empire, also known as the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth is a remarkable force in the world, a force for change. The Commonwealth is a voluntarily association of 65 independent countries, almost of which were formerly nations under the British Empire. Every nation becoming more and more distant. Almost of which were formerly under British rule, rather than every nation becoming more and more distant as each colony was granted independence, one by one, as the dawn of a new era and a new modern day. The individuals of the colonies, dominions, and territories slowly leant towards the Commonwealth. Queen Elizabeth II and her cabinet created the Commonwealth of Nations. That is enough history for one time. Ken found me at Pinoca in an asylum. He was fond of the beauty of a 22-year-old, and the young man was very fond of the mature man that he met. Most people would assume a young individual would have daddy issues or abandonment issues regarding being left or forgotten by someone older than whom he was. But surely, truly, certainly, when looking at the situation and relations, oneself shouldn't make abrupt questions and statements towards others without being given the grace and modern invitement of speculation or questioning the nature of others. I, Drayden Harvey Eric Daniel Patagan, prefers a man who's been around the block a few times in his life. Stories, wisdom, experience, and teachings based off all past experience are far more valuable from the naked eye. A person would seem as if they were... Here's that thing I wrote the other day. I will make 3 examples. Oh, this is that story. Conclusion. Individuals tend to form their futures based off their interests. And that's when I wrote about that little girl who experienced something as a child, and she became a social worker so she could help families that were in her situation that she wished she would have got the help for. Okay. Damn. How long was I? I'm gonna go for a cigarette. Thank you if you viewed this far, and see you at the next one.